Hi there guys, Alex here, and I know I said I'd do this response yesterday, but unfortunately I just didn't have the time. I'm doing a lot of revision at the moment, so doing it today, and yeah, so this is a response to jeffrecordman1958's his album discussion thread, which he did a couple of days ago on this album, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, one I've had for just over a week now, well no, probably 2 weeks now. So I haven't had it very long, but I'm still going to attempt to answer these questions, and it's a great album to pick, and yeah, I'll get on with it. Right then, so the first question Jeff asked was, did the album live up to its hype? And yes, I think it did in every sense of the word. I mean, I think I said this back in my reply to Spellerine on his Sgt. Pepper thread. I mean, it's kind of proved that it's kind of proved its worth, if you like, by the fact that it's kind of become legendary, and the fact that people are still appreciating this music and listening to it nowadays is a testament to that. And it must have been amazing when this came out, just to hear it for the first time. And so I think, you know, very much so, this did live up to its hype. And any album that's kind of getting the treatment that an album like Dark Side of the Moon is getting at the moment in the 2000s is you know, you have to consider a legendary album. I mean, I think there's a 20th anniversary edition. The one I have here is a 30th anniversary edition, so this came out back in, I think, 2003, and who knows, that'll probably go on 40th, 50th anniversary, and then it'll probably be a 100th anniversary edition. It just really proves that this is a timeless album, and this will still be being listened to, you know, 50, 60 years from now. And you know, if someone created an album like this today, it would still be considered contemporary, and people would still love it. So, yeah, very much a timeless album, I think. And yeah, so that's about the best I got on that one. Do I like the group? Do I like Pink Floyd? Yeah, I do very much like Pink Floyd. I mean, the things I've heard by them have really, you know, blown my mind. I mean, seriously. I mean, to be honest, this is as I've said many times in my videos, I'm really still in the process of getting into this whole music thing, and obviously vinyl is very new. I used to just listen to music very casually, and now I'm starting to really become very fanatical about the way I listen to music. So this is my first Pink Floyd album all the way through, and I've heard bits of Piping from the Gates of Dawn. And absolutely love that. I mean, I'm a big fan of Syd Barrett. When he was back in the band in the late 60s, I think he left, was it 1969? Somewhere around that time he left the band. And of course they had a string of good albums around that time, I think. I'm a big fan of the Syd Barrett era, from what I've heard, and I'll certainly be looking in the future to pick up that album and some of their other 60s stuff. That would be great. But yeah, I'm a big fan from what I've heard, and this album, you know, there's not really a better place to start than Dark Side of the Moon, and that's really whetted my appetite, if you like, for Pink Floyd. And I'm already, you know, I've been looking through Discogs over the last few days, looking for some more of their albums, and once I get a bit of money together after Record Store Day, they'll be kind of top of my list of priorities to buy. So yeah. Compare and contrast the album to another one. Okay, a difficult question for me, because I'm quite new to this this field, this genre, if you like, kind of prog rock, psych, that kind of stuff. I'm quite new to that that kind of stuff. And I've listened to quite a lot of psych stuff, but not tons and tons of prog rock, progressive rock. So difficult for me. I'd have to say, I think someone else mentioned this as well, OK Computer by Radiohead. Obviously completely different time period, but I can see the similarities, and that would probably be the closest similarity I can give, to be honest, at the moment. Yeah, I'll be listening to a lot more prog rock over the next year. I mean, I can guarantee that, and I'll be able to compare it much more, probably a year down the line. But yeah, OK Computer, I can definitely see the similarities there. Favourite songs on the album? You know what? The thing I love about this album, the first thing I noticed about it is the cohesiveness and kind of the ebb and flow of how this album develops, and that's the thing I love about it. And it's almost just like one long song, if you like, you know. But that's not to say it's one-dimensional or anything. It changes, and you have all these different moves and these different tempos that it sets. I mean, and I love the cohesiveness of it and the way it flows. So it's difficult for me to pick out a favourite song, but if I had to, I'd probably say Money is a great song, and Great Gig in the Sky as well. I mean, yeah, those two songs are just awesome. So yeah, that would be the answer there. But I love all these songs, and there's not a weak link on this album. I haven't picked one out anyway. So yeah. Right then. So the next question was, what do you think about the graphics and the cover art of Dark Side of the Moon? And you can see what I have here. I have the 30th anniversary edition. I think this is the same as the original. I think the graphics were pretty much the same on the original, but this is just a beautiful package. Seriously, just the cover gets me every time I see it. I mean, the refraction of light with the rainbow colours coming out of it, just so symbolic, and just fits so well with the songs. It's just almost magical how it does that. I mean, you got that on the back, and just such a simple but powerful idea on Pink Floyd's part. I mean, you can see behind me there I got a poster that came with this, and they got all kinds of prisms and pyramids and triangles that really do. So they were obviously going for this whole astronomical symbolism thing with this album, and just the addition of all those nice extras, and just a true masterpiece what they've done with the artwork here, in my opinion. Like Sgt. Pepper becomes so iconic, and I think pretty much anyone will recognise this, even if they don't know the band. Obviously this is a refraction of light through a prism. I mean, you know, very science orientated, obviously. In fact, I did this in my physics lesson. We did an experiment on refraction of light, and you got all the colours coming out. Just so special, and so, as I said, just so iconic, and got the whole interaction with like light and sound in the middle. So really basic ideas they're playing on here, but doing it to such great effect. So yeah, that's the cover art. Absolutely adore the cover art. I think, like Sgt. Pepper, it's what makes this part of what makes this album so great. And it just wouldn't be the same if there was just a picture of the band, in my opinion, on the front cover. Okay, so next question was, what do you get out of listening to Dark Side of the Moon? And this is really quite an interesting question, because after Jeff put this thread up, right after he read out the questions, he did his response, and he explained how he listened to this album and what he got out of it. And what he said really caused me to take a different view of this album and look at it from a completely different angle and a completely different perspective. And basically what he said was, you know, all the songs really apply to life and actions and processes that you go through when you're part of life. I mean, the titles indicate that perfectly, and I never made the connection before, but now he's mentioned it, I can really start to relate to that. I mean, Breathe, Time, Money, Us and Them, Brain Damage, Eclipse, almost all single word titles, just so simple, but they really paint a picture of life. And so I've really got something different out of it since he said that. And after watching that video, I had to listen to it again, and I basically just sat on my bed, had this open, put it on loud, read the lyrics as the music was playing, and yeah, they've done something really special with this, because on the one part they've got some really cool sound effects, and that's when I first noticed this. That's what I noticed, and that's what I loved about it, was the cool sounds and the rhythms and everything like that. But it's also got the dimension that Jeff added, and the dimension that Jeff mentioned, and yeah, just makes it just so special. And yeah, so that's what I get out of listening to the album. Next question is, what format do you listen to it on? Well, the only format I have it on at the moment is vinyl, and if you watch my video, I got this probably 2 weeks ago now. This is the 30th anniversary edition reissue of this album on 180 gram vinyl, and to be honest, I think it's all I need at the moment. I don't think I'll be looking frantically around for an original pressing, or anything like that. And I might look out for it on CD. That'd be nice to have it on my iPod, because I can see me listening to this on the go and things like that. But at the moment, I'm psyched and absolutely love having this 30th anniversary edition, and it just does the job perfectly for me. So that's the format. And the final question was, do I think this is an essential album? And I don't think anyone will disagree that this is definitely an essential album. And in fact, probably if I was to say one album that was the most essential in my whole collection, it would have to be this one, because I think everyone's going to get something out of it, because it's so multi-layered, and you can obviously take out what Jeff took out of it and what I've come to take out of it with the lyrics and the messages it's putting across, but also it's just so pleasant on the ears, so tranquil, and the sounds are awesome, as I say. So if you're into prog rock, then this is an absolute essential. But I think even if you're you don't know anything about Pink Floyd, this is probably the album to start with. Yeah. But so yeah, definitely an essential. And that pretty much wraps up my answers. I mean, it was quite a difficult thread for me. So apologies, Jeff, for some of my answers are a bit vague and a bit muddled, I guess. But yeah, as I said, this is my first Pink Floyd album all the way through, and still learning about them and their music. So that's my answers, and great thread, a great album to pick. And I've got an album discussion thread up. It'd be great if some of you could head over and maybe take the time out to answer that, either in a video response or just in the comments. I'll put the video link up here to mine. So just check that out, and got that on Blonde on Blonde. But apart from that, that wraps up this video. I think I'm gonna respond to my album discussion thread on Blonde in just after I wrap this up. But apart from that, great thread, and keep the videos coming. Thanks.